Fire Lane Kiffin. Fire Lane Kiffin immediately. He's terrible. He's the worst. It's all his fault. Bama would have won 100-0 if it wouldn't have been for Lane Kiffin. This is ridiculous. Bama fan man. Bama fan man. I'm Bama fan man. Don't poke the bear, sir. Wake up a monster. You know, I've been busy on here making these super important videos about the government and tinfoil hat stuff, and you know, just these, you know, groundbreaking videos and topics where I discuss, you know, various things in the news and yada yada yada, you know, and sprinkle in a few Georgia videos here and there. I mean, it is only June. Yep. But yesterday, I get up, go ahead and pull up YouTube here on my secular phone. Yep. And one of my favorite people on here, and I mean that sincerely. Bama fan man has a video where basically from the title, it would appear that it's going to be a video of him basically asking people to please make more college TTC videos. I click on the video. Yep. You know the video I'm talking about. It is shirt on with the 3 little pictures: eat, sleep, mouth, breathe, Alabama football. Yep. You know, he spends, you know, a minute or so basically talking about Alabama. We're going to do this because we're Alabama. We're going to do that because we're Alabama. Yep. And then he spends the second half or more of the video trying to irritate Uncle Lou. Yep. Well, which I don't have a problem with that, sir. Yep. That's your prerogative to do that. Of course, this is TTC. Trash talking is what we do. However, some of the points that you made in your video are beyond the pale there, and they're beyond ridiculous too. You make some outlandish claims, sir. Yep, that's just the truth here. You know, okay, you claim you have the best defensive line in the country. Let's start there. That's you claiming that, sir. I haven't seen anyone else claiming that. You're free to claim that if you choose to, sir. But realize that that's not a fact. That's your opinion. But I'll give you a fact. Georgia does have the best offensive line in the country, sir. There's no debating that. I don't want to hear from any of these Big Ten schools. Just because you have 5 guys that weigh 370 pounds each and eat raw corn all day long doesn't make them good offensive linemen. We have the best offensive line in the country. We had the best offensive line in the country last year. We have 4 of those 5 guys returning this year. It's not a coincidence that every single running back that we put in the backfield averages 5 yards a carry or greater. That's not a coincidence. Yes, we have a lot of good running backs, but not all of our running backs are NFL caliber. I'll admit that. But they look NFL caliber behind our offensive line because we push people around like they're not even there. Last year, Gurley averaged 8 yards a carry. Nick Chubb averaged 7 yards a carry. Sony Michel averaged 7 yards a carry. It doesn't matter who we put back there. So let's move on to that. The running back situation. You're beating your chest about Derrick Henry, sir. I've got news for you. Alabama has had some good running backs over the last 10 years. Derrick Henry, not one of them, buddy. I'm just being real with you. Derrick Henry doesn't scare anybody. He doesn't scare Uncle Lou. He doesn't scare the Georgia Bulldogs. He doesn't scare UL Monroe, who I believe you lost to the last time that you played, which is pathetic and sad, sir. You lost to UL Monroe, and yes, you had Nick Saban, so save me the Lord Saban shit, please. Not trying to hear it. But you beat your chest about Derrick Henry. Let me explain this to you, sir. On October 3rd, Derrick Henry will be the 4th or 5th best running back on the field. Comprende? You need to get real, sir. Look, the days of Alabama beating people just by showing up are over. The days of Alabama beating people by simply walking off the bus are over, sir. Your heyday is gone. The prime has passed you by. You had a good little run. I'll be the first to admit it. You had an amazing run, sir. It's over. 2012 was 3 years ago. You bring it up more than... People complain that Georgia fans still talk about 2012. Maybe, but not nearly as much as Alabama fans do. Get over it and move on. You know, you say you're not scared of Nick Chubb. Well, what's Nick Chubb going to do? Just run it down our throats? I don't think so. Defensive line not going to allow that to happen. But defensive line does allow that to happen. You linebackers. No, it is going to happen, sir. You mentioned 2012. Todd Gurley, as a true freshman, ran all over you, sir. And you had, what, 9 NFL players on that defense? You don't have 9 now, sir. Your defense is nowhere near now what it was 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago. It's not even close. You would admit that yourself, sir. Nick Chubb is going to run the ball all day long. Period. And when he gets tired or needs a breather, it's no problem. We can put Sony Michel in. We can put Keith Marshall in. We've got 4 or 5 running backs that would start ahead of Derrick Henry, sir. Those are just facts. Facts. We have the best linebacking group in the nation. That's a fact. That's not Uncle Lou's opinion. Read a magazine, watch ESPN, do some homework. We have 3 NFL linebackers starting on our team right now. I mean, I'm sorry, October 3rd, I'm looking forward to October 3rd. It's going to be a good game. But you Alabama fans think you're going to beat Georgia just by showing up in Athens and walking off the bus. You're out of your friggin' mind, people. It's not happening. First of all, UJ has never been scared of Alabama. Never been scared of Alabama. Now, there are some teams that have. I will admit that. You have beaten a lot of teams, like I said, just by showing up. Just by showing up, you have beat a lot of teams. Not UGA. UGA is 3-2 against Alabama in the last 5 games. You don't have any type of dominant streak over UGA, sir. You don't. I'm sorry, you don't. You just don't. We've beaten Nick Saban. We will beat him again. No problem for us to go ahead and do that. We have to. And we're going to, without a problem. And your video, you claim your secondary is trash. Well, I tend to agree with that, sir. But still, every year you're getting a member of your secondary drafted first in the first round of the NFL draft. So I don't know what's going on over there with your secondary. You've got no quarterback. You have the nerve. You have the nerve to talk about UGA's quarterback situation. I wanted to come through this secular phone and slap you in the back of the neck, sir. Figuratively speaking, not literally. What's wrong with you? You had to. Alabama has the #1 recruiting class in the nation, year in, year out, every single year. Look in the NFL. Find one Alabama quarterback in the NFL. You can't. You can't. You guys' quarterback situation has been a joke for years. Last year was just the icing on the cake. You bring in Lane Kiffin, the biggest scumbag. I'll get to him in a minute. Your quarterback situation is embarrassing. Last year you had to take a converted running back and teach him how to hand the ball off and teach him how to throw Hail Mary passes to Amari Cooper just to win games. What a joke. What backup running back are you converting to quarterback this year? That's my question for you, Gumps. I don't know. You bring in some guy from Florida State last year, this Coker, whatever his name is, supposed to be the next best thing since sliced bread. This guy can't even sniff playing time. He couldn't even beat out that converted running back that started last year. I watched your spring game this year. All three of your quarterbacks look pathetic and terrible. The guy y'all are supposed to have starting barely had a 50% completion ratio in the spring game when you're not even allowed to touch the quarterbacks or get within 3 yards of them. So the quarterbacks don't even have to worry about getting hit or sacked or anything like that. And the best this guy could do was 50% with a pick six. Give me a break. You're not scaring anybody, Alabama. And truth be told, of the two teams playing on October 3rd, Georgia and Alabama, the team that is actually scared, Alabama. Alabama. You guys didn't want to play us last year. You got lucky and dodged us in the SEC championship game. We would have beat the brakes off you in that SEC championship game without a problem. But no, you went ahead and beat up on Missouri. Of course, not nearly as bad as we did. We beat Missouri like a drum. You guys beat them fair and square. That's great. Of course, you then went and embarrassed the SEC by taking the first loss to Ohio State since Jimmy cracked corn. I mean, look, like I said, I give Alabama their credit and their props. You know, they've done great things, but look, it's not 2012. You know, you haven't scared anybody the last 2 years. You're not scaring us this year. You claim UGA gets no respect because they're only ranked 10th nationally or something you said in some magazine, Precy. Ranked 10th is no respect? What's wrong with you, sir? UGA gets plenty of respect. Have we won the big one? No. Do we want to? Yeah. No one wants to win it more than me, but to claim that UGA is some terrible program just because we haven't won a national title in the last 10 or 30 years, whatever it's been, or to claim that Mark Richt is a bad coach or doesn't know what he's doing because we haven't won a national title, that's a whole other video. You can search my channel, Uncle Lou, Mark Richt. I've talked about that before. I'm not going to get into that here. But look, sir, I'm looking forward to the game. It's going to be a great game. It's in Athens, October 3rd. Game day will be there, I'm sure. It's most likely going to be a 3:30 game. CBS will pick that up as the game of the week. Game day will most likely be there. UGA will be undefeated. Alabama might be undefeated. I'm not sure. They do play Wisconsin and I think one other team that has the potential to beat them. The only game we have leading up to the Gump game is South Carolina. Other than that, we play some trash. I think we play Vanderbilt and a couple other garbage schools, and then South Carolina, and then the Gumpers. So we will be undefeated. You guys might be undefeated. I don't know. I hope you're undefeated when you play us so that game day will show up. But anyway, you wanted it. You got it. We're not scared of Alabama. It's not 2012. Your heyday is over. Props to what you did 3 years ago and further in the past. But this is 2015. Georgia's not scared. You're not beating us simply by getting off the bus. You're going to have to earn it on the field. And lately that's something you've been unable or unwilling to do. I don't know. In big games, Oklahoma. Sorry about that. Ohio State. Sorry about that. But anyway, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good game, but a lot of the stuff you said in your video, I guess it was trolling. I don't know. Like I said, you're just trying to poke me. You're trying to poke me with a stick here. You get me all riled up. Women's World Cup tonight, USA, 7:30. Don't forget to watch it like you're supposed to. If you're a real American, you will watch the World Cup. Yes, I know it's soccer. Yes, I know it's women's soccer. But Uncle Lou does support international soccer, men's and women's. I watched the Germany game yesterday. Of course, they humiliated something called the Ivory Coast, like 10-0. Which, if you watch soccer, you know how ridiculous that is. You never see a score like that in soccer, especially at the highest level, these international levels. But yeah, Team USA plays today, 7:30 on Fox Sports. Be sure and watch it like you're supposed to. If you're a red-blooded American who eats red meat and has high blood pressure, then you're supposed to be watching. I mean, there's nothing more American than red meat, high blood pressure, and watching Team USA, anything, beat Team some other country. So be sure and check it out. But anyway, I'll probably make a video later today about that. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, all you Alabama fans, all I can tell you is we're ready. We've been ready. That game is circled. I'll be the first to admit it. I've been looking forward to this game for a couple of years. October 3rd can't get here quick enough. You're going down. And I guess afterwards you guys will just be stuck out there in the middle of dirt stain Alabama somewhere, burning tires.